Welcome to the collective energy reading for the week ahead. I'll be going through what's going on in the collective energy, tapping in to see what kind of energy we can expect this week. I'll be then looking at how this will affect the world stage. They all kind of interact with each other, one pushes the other, but then I'll also take a look at how you can best navigate this on a personal level. Remember, collective energy is multifaceted, meaning it has many viewpoints, but I'll be looking at the energy from the most heightened energy, where most of the energy is going within the collective, and reading on that kind of energy. So we'll see what the cards have for us this week. I'll also be going through some of the planetary transits. We've got some big changes and big placements this week that will be affecting us all on the collective. So I'm excited to get into this reading. Also just want to let you know that just because it's coming up in the cards doesn't mean you have to participate in this energy, doesn't mean you have to focus on this energy. As I said, it's multifaceted energy within the collective. You don't have to put your energy in it. If something comes up negative that's in the cards, you don't have to put your energy there. You can then work even harder to keep your energy high, to counteract or balance that kind of energy. So let's get straight into today's collective energy reading. So on the screen I have the chart for the 3rd of February, so this week. So some of the biggest placements on this chart that you'll notice is the stellium here in Aquarius, which I will run through as well. We've got a full moon over this week. We've got this massive stellium taking place in Aquarius, and then we've got Neptune finding its new home in Aries. It has been retrograding back and forth across Pisces and Aries, but is now settling into its new home, where this is a collective awakening. Neptune dissolves boundaries. So in Aries, it's going to dissolve things that done in a passive way. It's more impulsive, it's more energy-like, more masculine energy. So it's not going to do it in a subtle, passive way, although normally Neptune is quite gentle in the way that it dissolves. Because it's in Aries, we could be expecting things like warlike energy to make great changes for the collective. This is why we're seeing all of this energy activating around the world. All of these major outer planets are causing what's going on around the world at the moment. So this transit is activating embodiment of self, because Aries is a very self planet. It rules the self, whereas Libra across from it rules others. So this is me versus you, or I versus us over here. So it's very much selfhood represented by Aries. So almost like each person out for themselves. That's in the worst possible way to read that as well. Of course, there is better ways to read it. It's about what's the collective, what no longer resonates in the collective, what's no longer good for the collective moving forward, the civilization, the generations moving forward. It gives a bit of a pulsive energy to making the necessary changes, helping us dissolve our attachments to old power systems, old structures, in order to make way for new beginnings here with this energy. So it could be played out also on a personal identity shift for some people, especially if you are a fire sign, or if you are a cardinal sign, which is Aries, Libra, Capricorn and Cancer. So if you've got them strong in your chart, then you'll be really affected by this placement here. So we've got creative energy here with the fire. It's where mystics, healers, artists form here. New beginnings playing out in this energy. Let's get into this stellium that's taking place over this week in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign, so that's a lot of mental activation, a lot of thoughts. For some of you, it could feel like a brain fog or cannot pull a thought together. There's so much busyness going on in your mind. For some of you, it's restlessness. For some of you, it's great ideas coming to you. So it's a very communication energy here with the Mercury sitting in an air sign. So it's all about collective energy, community, communication. We've got Venus in the mix. Venus wants to find harmony and balance and love, connection as well. So we've got that kind of energy here. But the most things I'm pulling through from this energy that's going to be affecting the collective over this week is this massive mental activation. A lot of thoughts. For some of you, that is brain fog. For some of you, that is excellent downloads or really great divinely inspired ideas. Could be talking about also technology, learning new things around technology, because Aquarius is about technology and Mercury is about learning new things. We have got Venus in the mix. Venus is about emotional detachment. It could increase because Aquarius can be about detachment energy as well. So there could be a little bit of a feeling like you want to detach from people close to you as possible, taking a bit of alone time. You might love people or love certain people, but feeling like you just need a little bit of alone time just to get your thoughts in order. This is all played out by the energy of Aquarius this week, this big strong stellium in Aquarius. We have got the sun in Aquarius. It is Aquarius season, of course, so this is where the identity comes more about future thinking, forward thinking, technology, outside of the box ideas. This is the sign of the rebellion energy or revolution. This is breaking free from old systems or traditions. It's really just breaking out of old roles here. Could be playing out for some of you as well. Mars entering the mix. Here it's 8 degrees on the 3rd. With my chart below, this is on the 6th, so we're looking at 13 degrees, so it's moving into the middle of Aquarius by this time, so we're well into that energy of Mars. Mars is about really expression of impulsiveness. It could be expressing the rebellion energy, which is Aquarius, the innovation or the unpredictability. It's people that act from logic rather than emotion, very Aquarius energy, but also from action rather than emotion. So it's very much idea in the head, action with the Mars here in this. So idea coming from Aquarius and action coming from the Mars here. Talking about things like digital activation, we could be seeing a surge of technology. Things about censorship, freedom of speech could all play out in this area as well. New technologies around that, and further things coming up around AI with this placement here. So this whole stellium is about a breaking free from tradition, or the way old systems are done, old structures are done, old routines, old traditions. It's about breaking free from those things. We have a surge of innovation moving forward, great new ideas coming through. People are downloading all this wonderful information. So you could be full of great new ideas over this week. Emotional detachment could come here because you can see over on the 3rd, it'll be sitting in opposition to the moon. So there could be a little bit of emotional detachment earlier on this week. Then we have this collective awakening energy. So it's about this, it's community energy coming in from Aquarius, and social structures shifting coming here as well from this energy. I'm also noticing here that it's going to be squaring Uranus over here in Taurus, because they're both fixed signs. So this could be like a light bulb moment. It could be disruption. It could be quick, impulsive disruption of systems, technology, or the way that you think. Or there could be just disruptions to plans that come through here, or light bulb kind of electrifying energy that you may feel in these downloads. So that's the planetary placements as quick as I can get through them. Let's get into the cards. The energy to look out for in the collective this week. We've got injustice summoned, accountability for morality imbalance or value distortion. This is energy of people wanting accountability for where, say, money's gone into certain things when it could have been better spent in other things. So this here is wanting, this is more obviously other people in the background here protesting over the rights of certain people. So this is where there's an imbalance of justice for one group versus another group. That's heightened energy around that this week. Smart grid rising, I'm also feeling could be the rising of the people, only because I'm seeing the people protesting in the background here over imbalance, morality imbalance, and wanting accountability for that energy. So a lot more of that coming up over this current week that is going to be affecting the collective energy here. And I'm not going to name any one particular country because there's a lot of countries that this kind of energy is taking place in, but it affects the collective, so it affects everybody on an individual level. Over here we've got social control, social media. Now we're going to be seeing more things around changes to social media. We're going to be seeing heightened energy on social media to do with accountability needed for certain actions in individual countries where there's been unfairness, injustice, or lack of accountability. So people are going to be calling for this on social media. That's going to be one thing. The other thing is more talks around social control on to do with social media. Reality override, perception deception, sitting on top of morality imbalance. This is revealing the true depth of morality imbalance this week. So we're going to be seeing a lot more. Now maybe we may see something even on social media. There could be something that's released that could cause cognitive dissonance. So, and what I mean by that is it could cause stress to people because they didn't know the depth of what's really going on, or it was completely different than they thought. So it's quite a shock to see the level of what is going on, the things that have been hidden from us, even from social media, is what I'm picking up here. So like things going on in different countries or different places that have been kept covered up on social media. Maybe we're going to see a little bit of that energy coming out this week, where we're going to really see the value distortion or the morality imbalance, and really going to want accountability for these things or atrocities that are happening to people around the world. And atrocities was a word that I picked up then from Spirit. So this here is vital wellness, healthcare. This is personal. Now, why it could be saying that it's connected to the healthcare industry or things going on around diseases, or this could be healthcare diseases, things going on around in the world that's affecting the collective energy. But this could also just be saying your vital wellness is important this week. Now, why this is collective, it's saying that it could be related to the healthcare industry affecting the collective energy, or it could just be saying that you are responsible for your wellness. And I think it's just a reminder for me to say that to you, that you are responsible for your well-being this week. So take care of yourselves and take care of the people around you. The other two things that came up was waning light and ending of a situation related to outdated systems. Now, this is very much an Aquarius thing. So it's looking at the way, especially since we've got Neptune moving into Aries, we're really going to see that energy of dissolving things or systems or structures that no longer work for us. These things are really going to be heightened the energy, the need to look at what is outdated and what no longer works for us as a collective. And these things will start to separate ourselves from the way of thinking, the way we do things, our technology, our currency, to do with values of money, values of gold, values of silver. And I'm picking that up around the imbalance of value distortion to do with certain stocks and shares as well. This comes up here. I'm feeling the rising of some shares, but then the dropping of other shares, because we've got this energy here of the scales going up and down. So it could be like one thing rises, another thing goes down, because the balance was, and this is gold and silver, I'm feeling mostly, but it means that there's other stocks rising as well. Again, this is all entertainment purposes only. So just be aware of you're responsible for your own what you choose to invest your money in. Over here we see like the dismantling of our data system. That's very much because of Neptune entering into Aries, but also because of this big placement that's taking place in Aquarius. So let's move on to the predictive energy and how this is going to be affecting on the world stage. This week on the world stage, predictive energy, first thing I'm drawn to over here is final echo or mourning. This is the loss of a person or somebody in the media, somebody in the spotlight, I should say. So we're maybe seeing somebody, the final echo or the mourning of losing somebody over here, loss or mourning taking place. Could also just be mourning in a state of loss or mourning. Now, authoritarian response is sitting very close to this one, being an authoritarian type person. We could be seeing the loss of somebody, a dictator or something connected to that energy. The final echo doesn't have to mean passing either. It could be resignation. It could be the end of that person with authoritarian energy there. So we could be seeing complications is the word I'm picking up around some kind of authoritarian type person. Here we're seeing population swell, containment, trying to contain the rising energy of the people, the population swell. Also can relate to populations growing, but I do feel it's rising rising energies of people around the world. This is world affects many and also global, so it's right around the world. We're seeing this energy of the people here. We're seeing also economic pressures, costs of living in the world, around the world. So it's not just one place that has economic pressures, it is all places. And why is this happening? Why is this happening now? We're seeing more and more pressures, economic pressures, and they're not getting better, they're getting worse. So what is going on here? And it's sitting on top of population swell, trying to contain the issues to do with economic pressures, or trying to contain the energy of the people because of the pressures people are feeling and the pressures people are under. Sacrifice rights is the one I was just reading then. So people having to sacrifice and go without because of economic pressures here on this week. So this could be in the headlines. It could be the reason why people are becoming intense, but it could be something that takes place in the headlines. Global effect, sacrifice rights are sitting on top of each other. So it's going to be affecting many people. Many people are going to be affected by the trade-offs. That to me sounds a little bit like rules imposed or losses and how they affect people on a personal, but this is happening on a world stage, so it's right around the world. It's the intensity of the energy, the pressure, the culmination of energy of just the build-up of what has been happening over the last few months. Things I'm seeing on the table here is algorithmic influence. This is what we're seeing on the internet. Also sitting with staged optics, so distractions. Be aware of things that we're going to be seeing on social media this week that are distractions to move people away from worrying about their own pressure and their own economics. So what's going on in the world on a global basis affecting the people? Be aware of things we're going to be seeing on the internet this week, staged optics, to get people distracted and looking over here instead to cover up other things. So just be aware of how, some things are just staged to distract your attention. Now that to me is telling me there's going to be something big on the headlines this week. That is going to be on media, it's going to be on social media, because they're all saying, look here, but please be aware it could be a staged optic here. So on a personal level, this is kind of interesting because I'm still seeing energies of this loss or mourning energy that's taking place, and really having to contain your energy. This one's keeping faith, keeping light, keeping hope, even though something is coming to a loss or something's in its final stages. There's loss, there's mourning, there's sadness. There is something that's going on in the collective energy that causes some kind of reality override, perception deception, cognitive dissonance. And it's really going to be important to keep your light here, because this looks like a very challenging situation. And you're really going to have to work hard to keep your light here. Interesting. I wonder what this is going to be. So algorithm is also here, which is the internet. This is what's going to be all over the internet, affecting many people this week. It kind of looks big to me. Now, bringing it down to a personal level. Again, you are responsible for how you play your energy, how you play your hand, where you put your energy. This one is your perception. Perception, deception came up in the last reading, the last spread. So you are responsible. It was another card that came up that said they're going to try and algorithm, distract us, get us to look over here. So here, but it's saying you are responsible for how you play your moves and where you put your attention. Really important this week, because it affects your energy. It's almost like an energy harvest going on here. It's an energy grab. So this mourning, putting people in a state of mourning or fear or loss or despair, is about energy harvest. So be very careful, be responsible for your own energy this week. If you start to feel low, switch off, do a blackout, do just a bit of a pull away from media or social media just to pick your energy back up, because there's something going on this week that will affect people on a personal energy that feels like an energy harvest because of that perception deception. But you are responsible for where you put your light and keeping your own light here as well. Terms agreed. That there is just telling me that you agree to something by giving it your attention. As powerful co-creators together, when we all view something together, we put our energy in it, we help to manifest it, we help to build a certain kind of energy, which is then almost like harvesting energy. But that card there, let me just bring the screen back up again, is showing me you agree to certain things by where you put your attention. What that is making me think about is when they play things in movies, it negates karma, because with us watching it, we agree to it, which means it's no longer somebody else's karma. I won't detail that too much, but if you know that situation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It reeks of it this week. So just be careful about where you put your attention this week, because that is you agreeing to that energy or agreeing to that energy harvest, because you're putting your energy and attention into it. So I hope you all have a beautiful week. Just be very careful what you do with your energy this week.